Hi everyone, welcome to the Celebrity Diaries. Kenny Lattimore remains an illuminating presence in the domain of American R&B music and diversion, and as of mid-2024, his distinguished lifetime is highlighted by a praiseworthy total asset of $2 million. Lattimore's excursion into the spotlight initiated in the last part of the 1980s, when he turned into a vital individual from the RDB Bunch Mankeen. Their self-named collection, delivered in 1989, denoted the beginning of Lattimore's melodic odyssey, laying the foundation for a performance vocation that would enamor crowds across the ages, leaving on his performance adventures. Kenny Lattimore disclosed a rich embroidery of melodic ability through a progression of fundamental collections from the anonymous Kenny Lattimore in 1996 to the spirit of harsh digging in for the long haul in 2021. Each delivery bore the permanent engraving of Lattimore's smooth vocals and strong lyricism in his singles, including Never Excessively Occupied for Yourself and Take a Do Rose to the zeniths of accomplishment, resounding profoundly with audience members and procuring their legitimate spot at the top of the board grown-up R&B tunes diagram outstandingly. Lattimore's cooperative endeavors with his most memorable spouse, Chant Moore, brought about the making of the collections. Things That Sweethearts did in 2003 and Uncovered in 2006 further enhanced his melodic collection and cemented his heritage as a maestro of heartfelt ditties past the domain of music. Kenny Lattimore flawlessly changed into the domain of acting, gracing both the cinema and TV with his attractive presence, from his depictions in movies, for example, The Seat Filler, 2004, to his convincing exhibitions in TV series like MO 1997, and in the Cut, 2016, Lattimore's flexibility as an entertainer has gathered far and wide recognition and deference. Conceived Kenneth Lee Lattimore on April 10, 1970, in the core of the country's capital. His initial years were saturated with the energetic rhythms and tunes that would come to characterize his renowned lifetime, taught at Eleanor Roosevelt Secondary School. Lattimore's energy for music bloomed as he submerged himself in the school's dynamic band culture. His melodic ability before long grabbed the eye of friends and coaches. The same finished in a crucial second when he was welcomed to address graduating seniors at the very organization that sustained his imaginative goals following his secondary school graduation. Lattimore sought advanced education at the lofty Howard College, where he sharpened his specialty and further refined his unmistakable sound. It was during this extraordinary period that he left on a wonderful journey as the lead artist of the R&B group, a job that would eventually act as a springboard for his transient ascent to solo fame. The life-size model's brief yet significant spell at the center of attention was the legend's innate capacity to enthrall crowds with his profound vocals and attractive stage presence. Their self-named collection, delivered in 1989 under the Amazing Records pennant, displayed Lattimore's crude ability and potential, making way for a progression of earth-shattering performances. Attempts in late 1994, Lattimore's essential marking with Columbia Records proclaimed the beginning of another period in his vocation, set apart by the arrival of his presentation solo collection suitably named Kenny Lattimore in 1996. The collection's resonating achievement, buoyed by graph-beating hits like Never Too Occupied and the Grammy Selected for You, impelled Lattimore into the front line of the R&B scene, procuring him far and wide approval and honors. Courageous by the tensions of newly discovered popularity, Lattimore kept on pushing the limits of creative articulation with his sophomore exertion from The Spirit of Man in 1998. This widely praised magnum opus displayed Lattimore's flexibility from top to bottom as a craftsman, yielding soul mixing works of art, for example, Days Like This and Assuming I Lose My Lady, alongside a hypnotizing interpretation of the Beatles' Immortal Exemplary, While My Guitar Tenderly Sobs. Kenny Lattimore's melodic excursion took a fascinating turn following a short break as he re-emerged under the ops of Arista Records, helmed by the regarded Clive Davis, prestigious for his sharp eye for ability, who perceived Lattimore's true capacity and expeditiously iked him to another agreement, flagging the beginning of another section in the vocalist profession under the stewardship of Davis and the lively environment of Arista Records. Lattimore released a more contemporary R&B sound with the arrival of The End of the Week in 2001, an original collection that reverberated with crowds on the two sides of the Atlantic, led by the irresistible title track, which drew motivation from Blondie's notable satisfaction. Test: the collection caught the pith of current soul, while remaining consistent with Lattimore's unique style in spite of Davis's unmistakable vision for Lattimore's direction, destiny mediated driving the artist to record the recollections for Arista Records under the direction of L.A. Reid's surprising coordinated effort proved to be fruitful with the production of two-part harmony collections close by, Lattimore's then wife, the regarded Chant Moore. Their melodic association, proclaimed by pundits and embraced by fans, exhibited an agreeable mix of deep songs and genuine verses, solidifying their status as a powerful pair in the chronicles of R&B history, eminent for his dazzling stage presence and deft vocals. Lattimore made a specialty for himself as a torchbearer of the present day, soul-enrapturing crowds with his sensational exhibitions and heartfelt alarm, embracing his job as a guide to inspiration and strengthening Lattimore, reliably supported the depiction of people of color in a complex light, testing generalizations and commending the profundity of emotion and awareness intrinsic inside the local area following the arrival of Things That Darlings Do in 2003 and Uncovered Canvassed in 2006. Lattimore's star kept on rising with the two collections procuring praise and honors on the bulletin outlines from the taking off. Levels of the announcement, 200 to the cadence speed of the top R&B hip-hop collections, diagram Lattimore's music resounded with crowds across different sorts, rising above limits and contacting hearts with its spirit during songs and widespread subjects of affection and yearning. In 2008, he divulged Immortal, a covers collection delivered under Action Word Records, including the deep version of You Are My Starship, initially performed by Norman Connor, including Michael Henderson. This collection denotes a piercing accolade for ageless works of art exhibiting Lattimore's flexibility as a craftsman. Not happy with laying on past trees, Lattimore set out on another endeavor in 2012, establishing his own record mark. Sin records a demonstration of his pioneering soul and obligation to creative freedom. The name's debut Discharge, Back to Cool, appeared in 2013 with the Spirit mixing a single track, Down Away, enamoring crowds and touching off the wireless transmissions. On Valentine's Day, 2015, Lattimore got back to the front line of the music scene with the arrival of Life Systems of an Affection Melody, a heartfelt showstopper that reverberated profoundly with fans climbing the diagrams to top at number 177 on the Board 200, supported by the sincere single Love Me Back, which took off to number 8 on the grown-up R&B melodies diagram the collection's certified. Lattimore's getting through impact and imaginative ability. The next year saw the captivating songs of Any Lattimore. Christmas was an occasion offering that caught the essence of the time, acquiring a case and honors on the top gospel collections and top R&B hip bounce collections outlines. Lattimore's melodic excursion went on in 2017 with the arrival of Weak, a strong investigation of affection and yearning, reverberating with crowds and rising to number 21 on the autonomous collections outline in 2021. Lattimore, By and By, caught hearts with the arrival of Staying Put, a collection permeated with enthusiasm and reason. The single Take a Do took off to the culmination of the grown-up research and development melodies, diagram reaffirming Lattimore's status as a transcendent voice in contemporary R&B all through his celebrated lifetime. Lattimore's collection has risen above ed limits, enveloping joint efforts with regarded specialists and genuine versions of the dearest works of art, from the deep tunes of Beam J. and Brian Culbertson to the immortal numbers of Heather Headley. Lattimore's melodic heritage proceed to move and elevate crowds overall. Kenny Lattimore, known for his deep tunes, caused disturbances in the music business as well as wandered into assorted valuable business opportunities, extending his expert collection and monetary portfolio. In his business, one of his striking undertakings incorporates responsibility for Popular Twins Jazz Eatery in Washington, D.C. since its establishment in 2005. This personal feasting and unrecorded music scene has been a gigantic achievement, drawing in benefactors with its enchanting climate and live exhibitions. Lattimore's fractional responsibility for renowned establishments fortified his monetary situation as well as advanced music locally, solidifying his inheritance in D.C.'s lively workmanship scene. In 2012, Lattimore made the strong stride of establishing his own record organization, Sinra Soul records this move permitted him more noteworthy innovative command over his music and prepared for the arrival of the collection Back Too Cool on January 22, 2013. The collection's lead single View was composed by Ivan Standard Barras and delivered via Carvin payment. Higgins charmed crowds, turning into a radio peculiarity, particularly around Valentine's Day 2012. Thanks for watching this video.